Howdy y'all, Jackson here with Jerk Studios, and today I woke up to some rather disturbing news. I woke up to see this tweet from Owen Benjamin's news account, obviously not his own since he was permanently suspended from Twitter just a little bit ago. Anyway, it seems like his Patreon is now at risk of being deleted, which I feel is a load of BS. Now obviously as a private company, they're entitled to choose who gets to use their platform. I mean, it's not like they're a Christian bakery or something. Anyway, the problem I more have with this is the letter that they sent him, which he posted in a video on his YouTube account. It reads, obviously I'll be interjecting with some comments as I'm reading this, that's why I'm showing it on the screen. Anyways, it reads, tweets that you have published that have since been removed from Twitter, in brackets obviously. First off, this is not an admission of guilt by any means, they're only deleted because he was banned. Anyway, perpetuate negative stereotypes concerning protected classes. I mean, protected classes, come on, what is that even supposed to mean? I even went over to their guidelines to look to see if they had a list of these protected classes. Nope, that means they can literally say anything in a protected class. And the point of comedy is literally to make fun of everything. If you don't make fun of everything as a comedian, you pretty much lose credibility. And honestly, I don't feel like there should be protected classes at all. Everybody should be treated equally, both positively and negatively, regarded as sex, race, religion, physical ability, sexual orientation, etc. Anyway, the letter continues. I'm specifically referring to the tweets concerning black people. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Black people? Don't you know the proper term is person of color or African American? I mean, come on. Isn't that a little bit racist? Anyways, I wish I could go back and find these offensive tweets, but since I can't, since he's obviously indefinitely suspended, I do not recall this AIDS joke, but I do recall the black joke, though I was only making fun of a single black person who stole his bike when he was a young child. Your recent Facebook posts and live streams about Hollywood? What, the one saying that it's basically full of soy boys and pedophiles? I'm pretty sure that's an accurate description of Hollywood. And rape survivors. Again, I don't recall the rape survivor joke. Also, violate our guidelines. Patreon does not allow shaming, public or private, of survivors of sexual assault. I understand that the aim of this, aiming for shock value in your work, no dip, it's comedy, yada yada yada. It says something about this not being censorship, which it is, because they're entitled to create guidelines one must follow, which they are. But the problem here is that they don't follow it for the guidelines for everybody. The most obvious case of this is with their adult content, which you go to their guidelines at a specific point that I'm highlighting right here on the screen. We have a zero tolerance when it comes to glorification of sexual violence, which includes bestiality, rape, and child exploitation, i.e. sexual depiction of minors. This is true for illustration, animation, and any other type of content, which they obviously do not enforce, based on the amount of times I've been, perusing some pornographic websites and come across source filmmakers of depicting all three of these different kind of things. And linking to Patreons, having their little Patreon thing in the corner, support me on Patreon. And you can go to those pages and they're still all up there. I'm not going to be saying which ones, because they're entitled to make whatever content they want if people want to pay them for it. Just like I feel like Owen Benjamin should be entitled to make whatever content he feels like he deserves to, but he wants to make, as long as people are willing to pay for it. I mean, if you're going to have rules, I'm fine with you suspending him, but you need to do it for everybody, not just for right-leaning political commentators. You even know he's not really a political commentator, he's a right-leaning comedian. The only people that getting kicked off of Patreon are right-leaning people. So either apply the guidelines fully across the board to everybody, kick everybody off who's breaking them, or just don't suspend anybody. Anyways, thank you for listening through this rant, basically. Bye.